Good morning, my fellow yogic travelers. I'm mighty glad to be alive today, and I hope that you are too, as we continue to live, laugh, love, learn, linger, and loaf, and live the life we love. It's Friday, so it's my PowerPoint day. These are the kind of things I used to throw up on the yoga circle wall from 1985 to 2019. Thank you all for staying with me. So, the first thing we learn is there's no hocus pocus to changing your focus, no instant zap to transformation. Nobody arrives full blown. Social integration off the mat comes much, much later. It takes time. It's called parinama, transformations over time. So you got to put in the work. What is the work we're talking about? Well, one aspect of the work is unmasking yourself. You don't gain anything. You just lose the false identity that prevented you from seeing who you really are. In other words, we realize what's already there. We don't create something out of nothing. Yoga to me is a spiritual apothecary. It's tools for the traveling kit. There's no guided tour to this. There's no instruction manual for your life. It's a do it yourself job, and you got a front row seat. So find the different tools. Yoga offers you suggestions in terms of ethics, poses, breath control, relaxation, sensory withdrawal, and deep absorbed states of meditative bliss. Now, you break through the old shell. You know, they say that a chick is in the shell and it's eating all the nourishment there. And then when it's eaten everything that's in the shell, it continues to do what it's always done. It pecks at the shell and it breaks through to the next level. And the new matrix is perfectly designed to take care of it. Oh, wow, paradigm shift. Once it happens, the old way just doesn't work anymore. You've broken through. You're on another level. You've transcended, you could say. All right. So what happens when you have a paradigm shift is you put yourself out for what you believe. Nelson Mandela is a great example. Never lost hope, kept the faith, united the nation, took a few blows for the team, didn't he? Yeah, so put yourself out for what you believe. Now, when you do that, you realize don't be afraid of death. Be afraid of an unlived life. You don't have to live forever, you just have to live. So happiness to me is a byproduct of a good life. Not every single moment will be a shit-eating grin on your face. You're so happy. It's not something to be pursued. Just live your life with the best of your intentions, and you'll see in retrospect, I feel really good about what happened, what I did, where I ended up. As Michael Jordan said, I failed over and over again, which is why I succeeded. So take the regrets and the failures as lessons to learn. You can't change until you see things differently. And so 900 shots, he lost 300 games, but he won many, many games by taking that last shot. So what's my little mantra? You miss all the shots you don't take. Or if you don't ask, the answer is always no. When you practice enough, you have direct experience. And yes, in some way, there's been an experiential bias based on that, a heuristic discipline you find out for yourself. But like they say, a well is useless when water is flowing everywhere in a flood. So, in the same way, you don't limit the sacred to being in one book or one technique. It's everywhere once you open up and see, which I call to the discerning. Yeah, so cheap work ain't good. Good work ain't cheap. Cheap work ain't good. So let the mind of the wise disturb not the mind of the unwise. Remember, at some point, you couldn't hear this. If anybody would have been talking about this, you would have been turned off. You would, been triggered to something else. Don't disturb those people. Everybody awakens at their own rate. Your job is to awaken yourself. All conform to their own nature. What use is restraining anybody, as Krishna says? Do your own dharma, even if poorly, better than another's done well. That's the whole idea. Don't wish what you would be doing, could be doing. Sink into what you are doing. Be here now. So I love the theory. It's fun to talk about, but the truth is, yoga is known by yoga. Right? Practice is indispensable. If you want to find out, it always is going to culminate in an action. What are you doing? Even the action to sit in meditation, which seems like it's non doing, is a different kind of doing. Free your mind. It's superfluous to separate the philosophy from the discipline. Back in 322, Alexander the Great brought back a gymnosophist. from Greece, from the borders of Greece. And so we know there was already proliferation between East and West a couple of hundred years before Christ. And then, as Joseph Campbell reminds us, must be willing to relinquish the life we've planned so as to have the life that is waiting for us. That means we have to open our eyes and see what is happening. Regardless of what you think, regardless of what you believe, it all comes down to this: be intent on me, see all in the self. Those who sacrifice to the gods go to the gods, your concept. But those who sacrifice to me, meaning the universal, invisible, abstract spirit, they come to me. In yoga, that's called Ishvara Pranidhana. All right, well, I hope you make your own peace with that. Next week, Wednesday, will be the next Good Vibrations class. Yoga and the Sacred Text will be covering the Vedas. Go to my website, gabrielhalpern.com, and sign up. Otherwise, let me know how I'm doing in your estimation, critiques, comments. Ask me for a free CD. And for those of you who are my students, if you want to help me get some of my India notes saved for posterity, I'd love to have your help. Just reach out and let me know. Have a great day.